I think many Muslims are finding themselves being political orphans. Since the events in October happened in Gaza, it's been overwhelming. I think folks have felt conflicted. Emotions have certainly fluctuated over this period of time in what's unfortunately been protracted and too long. Unfortunately, as US taxpayers, we're in this heartbreaking situation. It's a conflicting feeling to be an American born in this country.
The war has been devastating for Muslims because we are the most diverse community in the nation, so that includes Palestinian and Arab Americans, and many of those Palestinian Americans have lost countless family members in Gaza. They have seen family members come under arrest or even be killed in the West Bank. It's just been devastating. And then any person with a shred of humanity, whether they're Muslim, Jewish, or Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, when you see the violence that's taking place and you know that our country is complicit in this violence, that we're providing the bombs and the political cover for these war crimes, this US-supported genocide in Gaza has inspired Islamophobes and those who hate Muslims or Palestinians or Arabs to act like they think they have the permission from the government to attack or intimidate members of our community. In 2023, CAIR received over 8,000 anti-Muslim bias complaints. 2/3 of those complaints came after October.
We've seen Islamophobia rise to levels that have been higher than 9/11. And that is one of the highest times in this country's history. I've had to face challenges speaking up for Palestine and being a woman who wears hijab in general. Just as a Muslim woman in my existence, in an elected position, in a public facing role. But of course the response to that, between death threats, thousands of messages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, of hate messages, that's all become normal for a Muslim hijab wearing woman in elected office, perhaps, even if I grew up in this community, even if I went through its public school system and have been a product of it and I'm now trying to serve it, that's the ugly reality of what happens when we allow hate to grow and when we refuse to acknowledge the humanity of others. Things have become more difficult for Muslims in this country. Where do we go with that?
CAIR itself has come under attack. In October, our national banquet was canceled due to a bomb threat. But what we are facing is no different than what other Muslim or Arab organizations are facing, what our community members are facing. It seemed like there was a seat at the table for Muslims. But when it came time to hear our concerns, to listen and to respond, it fell on deaf ears.
And that's been a huge disappointment, both in the Biden and Harris administration, but also in the broader state of politics, whether it's the Democratic or Republican Party. This election is critical. You have people who believe deeply and have evidence to believe that the signs of democracy in the US are crumbling, and that this is a question of whether or not we're preserving our democracy.